So you're thinking about buying a home. That's huge. But let's be honest, the mortgage process itself can feel like you're trying to solve a giant, complicated maze. Well, what if you had a map? That's what this is. We're going to walk through all the twists and turns so you can get through it without a single wrong step. This just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? You've got the anxiety, the confusion, that feeling that one little misstep could mess everything up. It's a really high-stakes process, so if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, trust me, that is completely normal. And here's the best part. Almost all of those problems, those dead ends in the maze, you can totally steer clear of them. Think of this as your cheat sheet. We're gonna shine a light on the biggest mistakes so you can sidestep them completely and save yourself a ton of time, money, and, let's be real, a whole lot of stress. All right, phase one. Before you even start scrolling through home listings and dreaming about paint colors, we've got to lay the groundwork. Getting this part right is absolutely critical. It sets the foundation for everything else that follows. Okay, this right here, this is probably the #1 mistake people make. You go out, you find the house, you're already mentally decorating the living room, and then you find out the financing isn't what you thought. Or even worse, another buyer who already has their loan figured out swoops in and snags it. It is an absolute recipe for heartbreak. So you've got to flip the script. The right way to do it is to get your financing in order first. Getting pre-approved gives you a solid, real budget. It's not a guess. It's a lender telling you exactly what you can afford. And here's the magic part. It turns you into a power buyer. When you make an offer, sellers take you way more seriously. Now, it's really tempting to just grab the lowest interest rate you see, but that's kind of like buying a car based only on its color. There's so much more to it. You've got different loan types, conventional, FHA, VA, and they're all built for different situations. It's not about finding the cheapest price, it's about finding the right strategy for you. Here is a pro tip, something you can do literally right now. The mortgage process is basically a big game of prove it. Lenders need to verify everything about your finances, so do yourself a huge favor. Get all your documents, pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, bank statements into one folder. When your lender asks, you'll be ready to go and avoid those super frustrating delays. Okay, you did it. You're pre-approved. That's awesome. But now comes this weird, tricky period, the waiting game. This is the time between getting that approval and actually closing on the house. And your only job? Don't mess it up. Let's see how easy it is to do just that. So picture this. You get the good news. Your loan is approved. You found the house, the deal is moving forward, you're on top of the world. And you start thinking, you know, for this new house, I'm gonna need some new stuff. And you decide your trusty old car just isn't gonna look right parked in that new driveway. So you pop over to the dealership and finance a brand new one. It seems totally separate from the house, right? I mean, the mortgage is already approved. What could possibly go wrong? Well, here's the thing. When your lender looks at your file again, and trust me, they will, they don't see a cool new car. They see a big, brand new debt. They see a new monthly payment you didn't have before. They see a giant red flag just days before they're supposed to lend you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And just like that, your loan is in jeopardy. That new car payment completely changes your debt-to-income ratio, which is one of the most important numbers in your approval. Lenders do a final credit check right before you close, and a big change like this can, and very often does, kill the entire deal at the last minute. So the golden rule during this phase is simple. Keep your finances as boring as possible. Seriously, no big purchases, no new credit cards. And don't change jobs. You might think a promotion with a raise is great news, and it is, but for a lender, it's a change they have to re-verify, which causes delays. Just keep everything steady until those keys are in your hand. All right, we're in the home stretch now. This last phase is all about the details. It's about making absolutely sure you understand every number you're about to agree to, so there are no surprises when you sit down at the closing table. Okay, so everyone obsesses over the interest rate, but the APR, the annual percentage rate, is actually the number you should be paying more attention to. Why? Because it gives you the true cost of the loan. It takes that interest rate and bundles in a bunch of the lender fees and closing costs. This makes it super clear. The interest rate is just the cost to borrow the money. The APR is the cost to borrow the money plus all the fees that go with it. So you could have two loans with the exact same interest rate, but one could have a much higher APR because of its fees. Always compare the APR. It's the only way to do a true apples-to-apples comparison. This is another big one. A lot of first-time buyers get hit with something called payment shock. They calculate their payment based on the loan amount and interest rate, and then they're stunned when the actual monthly bill is way higher. You've got to understand all the pieces. So, what is actually in that monthly payment? Well, it's often called PITI. P is for principal, I is for interest, but then you also have T for property taxes and another I for homeowners insurance. And sometimes you might even have things like HOA dues or mortgage insurance rolled in there too. Always ask your lender for the full PITI estimate so you know the real number. I know it's so tempting to throw every single penny you have at the down payment to make your loan smaller. But please, don't do it. You risk becoming house poor. You absolutely need a cash cushion for moving costs, for emergencies, for, life. A water heater that breaks does not care that you just spent all your money on a down payment. So we've covered preparing, waiting, and understanding the numbers. We've gone through a lot. But if you take away only one single thing from our entire chat today, I want it to be this next point. This right here, this is everything. Looking at your mortgage as just a transaction, like picking the cheapest item off a shelf, is a massive mistake. It's one of the most powerful financial tools you'll ever have, and it needs to be part of a bigger, long-term strategy. Because the right mortgage strategy does more than just get you a house. It affects your monthly cash flow, it changes how quickly you build wealth through equity, and it can even set you up for future investments down the road. This isn't just about a house, it's about your entire financial life. So I'll just leave you with this question to really think about. By avoiding these pitfalls and shifting your mindset, you're not just buying a property, you're making a powerful, strategic move that can help build a secure financial future for yourself for years to come.